Hello, Wake Up New Zealand, Sakey. Just behind me is my dog. His name is Muso. Hey, Muso. Muso. Hey. Hey, boy. Ah, he's keeping me company this evening. His name is Muso because Ross is a musician. He's been a musician since he was 10 years old, so we named little Jack Russell Muso. And he seems to like music just like Ross does. So here we go. Tonight I'm going to talk about Stats New Zealand, how the Stats New Zealand measure data. Well, the data is measured by well-being indicators. Now, what does that mean? Because there's a subjective and objective involved in these well-being indicators. There are there's more than 250 well-being indicators that have to be all stitched together to make one clear picture, and that's impossible. Because these indicators, if you think about it, subjective is about how they measure your well-being, your happiness, what's going on in your mind. So if you think about that one, I mean, your day can start off really good, then something comes along and bites you in the damn bum and you feel bloody miserable, don't you? And it can change in a blink of an eyelid. Oh, you can start your day not on a good note, then something nice happens and you're happy. Nothing is the same for everyone. And the way we see our lives, and we go, well, what's my life expectation? What's well-being in my life may be different in your life. It most certainly is. We all differ. We go by our life's experiences, how well we're feeling in ourselves, whether our health is okay, whether we are talking to our family or not, whether we see our family or not, all sorts of things, our social life, whether we have friends, whether we don't have friends, whether our family want to argue with us, etc., etc. And on top of that, how things going at work. Do we feel we're going to lose our job? Do we feel vulnerable? Do we feel helpless? And as I say, all that can change in a second, a minute, an hour of your day. But this is the way the government is measuring stats in New Zealand to make policies to govern New Zealanders. It's crazy stuff. It's impossible to stitch all those 250 plus indicators, well-being indicators, together to make one big, clear, factual picture. They can't do it. Now, this has all come about to fit in with UN Agenda 2030 as countries like New Zealand, particularly New Zealand, accelerates UN Agenda 2030 SDGs, Sustainable Development Goals. And those goals are one script for everyone, everywhere, every age on this planet. It's a leftist, globalist, socialist, Marxist, communist characteristic of how people globally will be governed. So on a national level, this is what Ardern is doing to the people of New Zealand. She is playing this game with your lives. It's psychological. It's not factual stats like we used to have. It's about gathering stats as to well-being and happiness. So this just can't work. It's ludicrous. It's very biased. It can be used. It can be influencing. It can be corrupt. It can be whatever the government wants it to be, because these academia researchers who pull out these stats, they are working with the government. They're in paid contracts with the government. They get their funding for their research from the government, and they give the government what they want. And that's how it works. So this is the first video I'm doing on what's happening now as regards stats in New Zealand, because this is crazy stuff. It's definitely totally non-transparent. It's make it up as you go along to reward this government. So wake up, New Zealand. I will do another video on this tomorrow. Thank you. Share, 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 share.